You're listening to Empire of Rust, the world's first and only Transformers RPG podcast. Join the heroes of Icon as they defend Cybertronian civilization from the remnants of Cybertron First to Lord Starscream's egotistical leadership, and beyond to the unknown threats on the other side of distant stars.
Previously on Empire of Rust.
But we were waiting till we got everything done and got all hell off of it before we tried to wake it up or communicate with it. Run faster, Carapace. I want to determine how to communicate with the base and if I can wake it up, but not actually do it until we're ready, until we actually leave. Everyone's off.
Well, if they're not going to allow me to hit any of the buttons or flip any of the switches, I'll flip them off and head toward the exit, waiting for them. I'll try to get a place by the window.
Wait, wake it up? It's a Cybertronian?
Yes, apparently.
This is going to be the best part.
So I would get a bit of a distance and make sure all the weapons are turned on, just in case he's a little confused and hostile.
Beta Taurus, shields up. Maximum distance.
We're back in Cybertron. Okay.
You start to see the building start to shake and bend and compress, and the whole building, the whole thing stands up, and you have this massive, massive transformer standing on this asteroid, staring at this ship. The base is going to bring up its weapons to bear, and nothing happens. And it just kind of looks at its arm a bit confused.
I grab Carapace's shoulders and I shake him violently. Did you see that? That was grand. That was really, really class.
Agreed. I agree with that. I've never seen that before.
I doubt we'll see it again anytime soon. But that's a memory maker right there.
All right, open communications.
I know that button. That's it's a yellowish one over here somewhere.
That's the green one.
Oh God, she's colorblind too. Great.
That's not green. That's.
And yeah, you open comms. What do you want to say?
Good day. Let me just get Magnum on. He's better at this. Hello.
I don't know if better is the right word, but definitely entertaining.
More confident, let's say. Confident, I mean, not competent.
Yes,
those are two different words for you.
Yes. Good day, big fella. Sorry to wake you, but we were visiting, and we noticed that you were unconscious, and so we figured out how to get rid of the energy blocks and turn you back on. We took the liberty of disabling your weapons temporarily, so you that'll explain probably a good thing based on what's going on. But we mean you no harm, and we would like to know who you are and what you're doing here.
How long has it been since I went into stasis?
About 2,000 years there, pal.
2,000 years. What side are you on? Are you an Autobot or Decepticon?
We're Decepticons. I'll yell out.
We're all of the above there, my friend. The war's over.
Over? The Decepticon forces won?
Well, I mean, they basically forced the Autobots into a peace agreement.
Interesting.
Which is technically true.
Yeah, not actually a lie. I do want you to give me a diplomacy check, though, on that, because you're not wrong, but you're certainly not 100% true on that one.
Did we see what the symbol was that he was brandishing?
Oh, yeah, he's a Decepticon.
He's a Decepticon?
Total Decepticon. You can see a big one on his chest.
That makes sense.
Was he a giant wild strike like we thought?
Damn, missed opportunity.
All right, diplomacy 23.
This is great news indeed, my friend. Thank you for restoring me to life. the Decepticon High Command determined that my services were no longer required in the war effort.
Let me guess, that vote was headed up by Starscream.
No, it was headed up by Shockwave. He was the commander of the facility when I was transformed.
So you essentially, you allowed them to disconnect your power, though, for the war effort?
Yeah, I did not want them to, but I did understand that my power needs are vast compared to other Transformers. I did not enjoy it, but they did promise that they would reactivate me once the war was done and Energon was in greater supply. Where is Shockwave, anyway?
I don't know where he is. Do we know where he
I'll
is?
glance at Wildstrike.
You can make a culture check, and any Decepticons can take it at a +5.
Can we aid, or just...
You can aid if you want.
I rolled a 1, so I have a 9.
Oh, man.
I had
The one result that doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
I had a 6. Add a 6 to any check.
You should probably take the check.
Yeah, it's like,
All right, well, yeah, I can check the check if no one else is doing it.
I got a 10 with the +5.
I got a 16 with the +5.
Nice.
So, 36.
Shockwave's dead. He died in the last big attack on Cybertron. So, yeah, he is not alive anymore.
Unfortunately, he perished spectacularly in a final battle.
Shockwave died?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Sorry you missed the week.
Starscream is now president of Cybertron, though.
What?
I didn't vote for him.
Starscream rules Cybertron? What happened to Megatron?
Megatron is pursuing,
He's pursuing his own legal justice.
yes, he has his
He's
own
off planet at
He
the
has his
time.
off planet with his own project. Now, listen, I'm not sure how we're going to get you back to Cybertron, so we have to think about that. Unless you have, space flight capabilities hidden in there somewhere.
After you mention that, you can see some things change on his back, and you can see what look like faster-than-light engines in his robot mode.
Or in his robot.
All right, I guess that's sort of not necessary. Excellent. But it sounds like you have a lot of adjustment to do.
what is your name?
My name is Landslide.
Well, how about that?
Have we ever heard of a landslide?
Of course we've heard of a landslide. They happen all over.
You can do a culture check if you want.
Culture.
It's possible.
Got a 15 on that one.
15. Not bad, but yeah, not enough for this guy.
If we meet in the rain, can I call you Mudslide?
What is rain?
Right. You're unfamiliar with that. Never mind. It's hydrogen dioxide that falls from the sky. Happens quite a lot on Earth. Long story there. Don't ask.
That sounds awful. Wouldn't that rust you?
Hey, if you're not protected.
It's dihydrogen oxide, not hydrogen dioxide.
Showing off that one skill point.
What's that? Who's talking now?
I got a 21 on culture.
You think this person's name was probably removed from a lot of history books and a lot of official documentation in order to keep the facility secret. So while you haven't heard of Landslide in any particular way, you are fairly convinced there was a reason for that.
Well, no, Landslide, you don't have to turn on the red light.
Maybe we could call you Voss, because that's how we came to know you. Vault of Stars.
What kind of group of idiots did I just wake me up?
Who is this? Who Who are you? Are you actually a Decepticon?
I am a Decepticon. Thank you for asking. My name is Denizen. Nice to meet
and
you.
You should know very well that Voss is one of the Decepticon Justice Division. I don't want to take his name. Even I wouldn't want to mess with them.
Well, come on. Look at you. No one's going to take the name back from you, that's for sure. If you want it, you just take it.
Do you know what the DJD does? Are they even still around? Is the list still around? Dennis and Wildstrike, both of you would be familiar with the Decepticon Justice Division. They're effectively like military police who kill Decepticon deserters. Yeah.
Gestapo.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
All right, well, there's a lot you have to learn here. Maybe we should head back to the planet so you can get refamiliarized. Is there anything we want to ask this guy before we leave, though? Well, before he starts mixing with the rest of the citizenry.
Do you have any control or rage issues we should know about?
I'm going to selectively mute her. Listen.
What kind of question is that? And he punches the ship. No.
He's got reach.
He doesn't.
We took away his weapons and we're pretty far off.
Good. He's got rocket fists.
Of course he does. Why wouldn't he?
No, I don't have rage issues. What kind of silly question is that?
Sorry. She's... Stop it. Go away. She's sort of her
continuing to talk, but no one is going to be hearing me, apparently. Did
That's
someone
fair.
just actually mute me?
I mean, Wildstrike, maybe you can give him some idea of how it feels to be a Decepticon after the war or something like that. But I just was saying, if anyone, we think we should ask this guy. I don't think he's going to give away any secrets, and we're really not in a position to make him. But maybe he'll tell us something. I don't know. I mean, about the Vault of Stars that we didn't know about. I mean, he literally is the Vault of Stars.
Yeah, Wildstrike, like, you can spend like a bit of time getting him like familiar with the current state of the universe, and he's surprised and a little excited that the war's over.
Was he already asleep by the time Wildstrike was brought to him?
No, he was not. He was put in stasis after all the experiments were done and the facility was decommissioned.
So he might know a lot.
But yeah, so like I said, you can get him familiar with it and everything. If there's anything specific you want to talk to him about, Wildstrike, you're welcome to. Otherwise, yeah, he'll listen for a while.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just fill him in on what happened from the Decepticon point of view.
Okay.
And we should probably just be like, hey, once you've kind of reacclimated, we'll reach out to you again. What's your address? All right, you're a building. You are the address.
You get that a lot from these people. Trust me.
Oh, don't turn off that dead switch message that's inside of you because,
No, we didn't actually leave it inside of him, thankfully. But, because it was too far away. But, yeah.
Was anything revealed, now that he's no longer integrated into the asteroid? Is there hey, there's 100,000 UPBs worth of raw materials in there that were growing out of his energon port because that's how technoscience works.
No, you can see that there is an indentation, a kind of a big canyon indentation where his where the pieces that became his thrusters or his engines would have been, and you wouldn't be able to see that just because it was underneath the building. But yeah, nothing unexpected.
Okay, but it looks like it was designed for him to be able to just get out of it, though. I sort of envisioned that he was embedded in solid rock, so maybe my mental image wasn't quite right. So, all right, I mean, anybody else have anything to say? But otherwise, I think we should head back and, send him to, what's the Cybertronian social service? I mean, it's got to happen occasionally. I mean, they pick up some Transformer who's been unconscious for 22,000 years.
Yeah, plus on Cybertron, colonists and former Autobots and Decepticons that were stationed, like light years away still arrive fairly often. So, Yeah, I imagine Iacon is going to have a like an acclimation service to get everyone back up to speed and to help them with housing, not needed for him.
Hopefully they've got those extra large office chairs in
I was going to say activate Iceman protocol.
Wow, this is a good guy to have as a friend, though, it seems like. All right.
Further away, home is gigante. I said farewell to the giant man.
Farewell, denizen. I will see you again. Soon.
How's 6 o'clock sound? Your place or mine? I'll pick you up. Go to the cyber disco.
And you can see his engines kind of spin up, and he kind of like aims kind of in the vague direction of Cybertron, and you can see him go into faster than light and shoot off.
Well, never thought I'd say this about another bot, but I really enjoy watching him leave.
I know how you feel.
Eyes slowly shift to carapace. And I walk away.
So I will have we'll have the captain set a course for Cybertron, and so I'm going to talk to Wildstrike and have him meet me at. This is Pythagoras. We'll have him meet me at Nyko's, wherever hospital bed or whatever.
Matt, you don't have to say I'm going to have my character do this. You can just say you can say to Wildstrike, "Hey, meet me at his hospital bed."
Hey, Sidewinder. I almost said Pythag-strike, so, I mean...
Pythag-strike.
Swing and a miss.
That's what happens when you ask me to think about what I'm going to say. Hey, Wildstrike, could you meet me at Nico's place in a few minutes?
Yeah.
I think I have a way to bring him out, but I might need your assistance because you're basically the closest friend he has here.
Yeah, I'll be right there.
Nico's place? Is that a bar? Is there a bar on board? Did you not tell me about the bar?
Yes, it's the airlock bar.
Yeah, I was going to say it's behind a door that doesn't use buttons. You're fucked.
Wildstrike, I basically figured out that the best way potentially for him to be brought back to consciousness is actually for him to be hosted by another Transformer. And I think I could connect him up with you, sort of like how the headmaster thing works, and he could act as a weapon former for you.
Oh, because of the green spark. The green spark being shared.
I mean, he shared the spark, and then, plus you guys probably seem to be the closest of anyone anyway. But I mean, it would require an operation, but he might be able to be conscious and, he'd definitely be in a position to protect himself because he'd be your gun all the time. So it's up to you if you want me to give that a try.
What do you believe the chances of successfully doing this is? Is there any danger?
Let's see, let me, life sciences, 23.
Yeah, you don't think there's really a ton of danger? Like with any medical procedure, there is going to be slight risk, of course, but based on the information you found in the vault there, you think you got this.
All right. So, not too bad.
When do you want to start?
It's all up to you. I would say the sooner the better if you're able to, because I mean you don't want to stay in this state longer than we need to.
No, I'm ready to go now then.
All right, set it up, and I'll also get any assistance that the medical officers on the board to help me out. So I don't know how long this takes, so that's what we'll be doing for a while.
Do I have any medical training?
It's a pretty involved process. I mean, you're effectively changing up a good chunk of Nyko's kind of like structure in order to connect to Wildstrike. You're also changing up Wildstrike's arm in order to do that too. So there's some modifications going both ways on this one.
Well, he's done this before with a head, so
yep.
This can't be harder.
Yep. He was one being the head.
It's hard to operate on yourself.
Yeah, you guys head over to the the medical bay, and the doctor on staff there will go ahead and will help you out as best you can. And a couple hours later, after a lot of rebuilding, you get an energon line hooked up to Nyko, probably another transfusion between Wildstrike and Nyko, and all of a sudden, the little guy's optics comes back online, and he sits up like, whoa, like, what happened? What's going on? Where am I?
You're aboard the, what is this? The Titanic. Yes.
Steelhaven.
Steelhaven.
You've been in a coma for a while.
Well, I asked that you guys get me off of Scarvex, and you did. So,
yes.
If we're on the Steelhaven, then that's good. I feel different. Like,
well, I had to connect you and Wildstrike for you to come out of your coma. Something about your spark still needing to regenerate or something, and he was a spark donor for you. So. You guys are going to be business partners for a while at least.
You donated some of your spark to me?
Yeah, you were injured, so I had to donate some of my spark to, get you to pull through.
I remember the explosion. We were at the ministry during the party, and I don't. So there was an explosion, yes, and what happened after that?
You were injured in the explosion. Some of the structure fell on you, so we brought you to the medical center.
Well, thank you so much for everything you've done. I don't know what to say.
Well, they were able to patch you up enough that we could move you, and then we brought you with us aboard the Steelhaven when we left. But you were still out until Pythagoras here found out a way to hook us up together and bring you back.
So and he looks at Pythagoras, when you say hook us up together, what is it? Like, what do you mean?
Maybe you should just transform Wildstrike, and that'll demonstrate, I think.
I think Barry White could probably, explain it a little bit. But don't listen to me because I'm not actually there. Let's get it on.
I was like, brown chicken, brown cow.
Now, remind me, just off role-playing for a second. A weapon former, can they exist as a bot separately? Then they can.
It's kind of like Pythagoras.
Well, he can't. Magnum can't be in robot form without Pythagoras being his head.
Right.
But a weapon is not so essential.
Right.
The way I wrote it, I do intend for it to be that situation. So, like when you're in robot mode, he is like the gun. But as I thought about it, for 2 seconds after that, I kind of realized, yeah, it's like you could easily be, in the. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to only be in that situation. That is the design intent, but yeah, there's going to have to be some allowances for target masters in that case. Not for headmasters and not for power masters, but yeah, for target masters certainly.
I mean, I think that way companions, it's sort of like having a headmaster companion. I mean.
So would it be accurate to say that Nico can no longer just be any gun? That now they can only be gun when they're linked with their weapon master?
Yeah,
that's probably that's probably the trade-off right there. So I mean,
and what I think I'll do for Wildstrike in this case, just to keep it a little bit fair towards a headmaster power master thing. After this point, whenever you are in robot mode, one of your arms, you don't have a hand anymore. You'll have a connection point. You'll have a stump. I will say that Nyko can disconnect and turn into a little guy while you are a robot as well, which is unlike headmasters and power masters. But if he does that, you effectively don't have a hand anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll get you a hook and some super glue.
Or maybe just a claw. Would you like a claw? You want a claw, Wild Strike? Do you want a claw? I'll give you 2. You could have 2 claws. How would that do for you?
Are you giving me a bear claw?
Well, maybe.
Is it breakfast already?
Shut up, Magnum.
He's not even in the room, or is he? Remember,
Here's the room.
Try transforming Neko, then you'll understand, I think, a bit better.
Okay, and he transforms into the weapon. Like, oh, this feels weird. This feels different.
Q-berry white.
Magnetic.
Connect to my arm.
Where's my trigger? I don't know where my trigger is.
That's a disturbing chain to her
Rest
defense.
your trigger on my finger.
Boom, boom, boom.
And yeah, Nico connects over to your arm. What kind of gun is he now?
He's a long arm. So like a rifle type of weapon.
You know, some arms are longer than others.
Your mother's been telling you stories about me again, huh? All right, you lived through the Braveheart era. That's perfect.
Yes, of course, I get that reference.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
So you hear Nico's voice coming out of the gun at the end of your arm there, Wild Strike.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you kind of like hear like echo through you as well, because you two are connected now, and you can actually, you're not hearing his thoughts, not like Magnum hears Pythagoras, but you are certainly far more connected than a typical like soldier and a weapon.
Great. Wild Strike's the next one to go mad, having so many voices in his head.
This feels so strange.
Yet so familiar.
It was necessary. I'm betting if in the future, at some point, you'll probably regenerate enough to go your separate ways if you so choose to. But at this point, you guys have to share sort of spark circuit in a way to continue functioning. But it generally will be probably healthy for both of you, assuming you guys don't get into a fight. And I don't mean a firefight.
I see what you did there, Pythagoras. Because I'm a gun.
I bet in that kind of fight it would be Nico that would win. He'd be like, and Wild Strike would be like, what? What? Hold me up to your ear so I can tell you. Kabam! Set and match.
But yes, I'll certainly help out as much as I can. I owe all of you so much for what you did for me. You kept me safe from those thugs outside the restaurant, and now you saved my life after I would have probably died. So yes, anything I can do to help out, absolutely.
Willing slave, yes!
And he will, assuming you let him, he will disconnect and turn into a bot. And yeah.
Does he have to let him?
Doesn't have to.
I mean, like, so can Nico, like, be trapped there, or is it always consensual?
Generally, I mean, headmaster, a master, and the two parts have a fairly equal say in the connection. So, so you would get into a sort of a struggle, I think, if one woman tried to disconnect and someone didn't want you to. You would probably have to like impose checks of some sort. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't bode well for the relationship if that comes up.
Yes, right.
Right.
So good job, Magnum, and good job, Wild Strike there. You have a Target Master partner for yourself.
Nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the Steel Haven is on its way back to... Oh, actually, yeah, I don't think you guys decided kind of where you want to go. Where is the next step for everyone?
I mean, I think Cybertron, because we know that Starscream blew up. We probably know. I think we know. He blew up. God damn it.
Sweet spot.
Thank you.
Forgot his name already. Wow.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Of course, Magnum would be the first to forget a friend.
I'm still not in the room. Or am I?
Yeah, Cybertron's good for me. I want to get back there.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing about Magnum is at least he's ever had friends to forget. It's like that difference between being a has-been and a never were.
You know, you can hurt me more physically than you ever could emotionally.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah. You know what the sick thing is like, you could probably kill me now. Like, the fact that you could literally just be like, 120 damage. It's like, oh, it looks like I'm dead.
I have your respect a little bit more, do I?
No. It's just,
Character to character.
Yes, yeah.
Not
It's like
personally.
I recognize that you're dangerous, and like that's,
Dangerous.
I respect being dangerous. So now I'm curious, like, you're actually gonna have to like stat out what Nico is, like, what level is he?
You probably already have, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be level 1.
Oh, is he level 1?
No, he's a 3rd level scout.
Oh, really?
We came up with a feat because that was one of the issues that we had talked about, is that because I'm only a 1st level target master but an 8th level character, like, it's really off balance, and he'd do like 1d6 for firing damage, like that's nothing for a gun.
Yeah.
We came up with a feat that would apply half of my soldier levels as target master levels.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm essentially a 4th level target master for purposes of the companion.
Oh, interesting. So is that like advanced? Is that like advanced alt? It's not advanced alt form, is it? Something new?
So he could like take things like honed and keen and
Yep.
become stupid.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm gonna have like some serious gun envy now.
We got you the big gun, Carapace.
That's for the ship. That's not mine.
For now.
As long as you're the gunner, it's yours.
Until we figure out how to strap
okay.
it to you, I mean, maybe you could make it shrink just enough.
Don't tease me, Pythagoras.
I'm not. I'm already building 2 guns. Why not build a 3rd?
Why don't you just take mass shift?
Mass shift. Yeah. You give the gun mass shift.
Denizen, how about you? You're heading to Cybertron. Have you been back to Cybertron since Earth?
Yeah, I went back there to find out what happened to everyone that left me behind, and I found out a lot of stuff. I got caught up on current events, and then I decided to go home to Eucharis, where I was kind of sparked out. So that's where I ran into Rex, and he told me some low-down skinny stuff on Starscream that the group here has over him. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be a grand band to join up with and be there when they actually stick it to him? Because that's really what I want to see, is the look on his face when he's defeated. So, yeah, I started to seek them out. Went back to Cybertron, looked for them, found that they were off-world, and made my way to the... what was the place that I caught up with them? Scarvix, was it? So I made my way to Scarvix and waited for them, because I knew that was going to be a destination that they had to go to sooner or later.
So what do you want to do on the ship? Like, where do you want to head? Wildstrike and Magnum are both thinking back to Cybertron. What about you?
I'm just going to be thinking an awful lot about what I'm going to say to Starscream when he finally realizes that it's the end of the line for him. And I'm going to contemplate all kinds of scenarios and different things I could say. I'm just going to really enjoy delving into that little mental fantasy land I can frolic around in.
So you're maxing your ranks in craft monologue?
I might be.
Well, I respect for that. I respect that. Like, that's
Yeah. Give me some ranks in that.
I mean, I've already kind of explored the ship a bit, and people know to, like, kind of cover up consoles and put those little glass shields over buttons when I walk into a room.
Mm-hmm. So we had to baby-proof the ship, is what we're saying.
Aye, that's one way of looking at it.
It's Berby proof.
Barely.
Berby.
Barely.
Aye, that's grand.
What about Carapace? What's Carapace want to do?
I'm cool going to... I'm going to check on... I have a bunch of leads that I still need to follow up on Cybertron. Between here and there, I'm going to, build, augment some of my equipment, because now we actually have a little bit of, UPBs and stuff to play with. Train the skills that I've been working on. I don't have anything super specific yet, until I'll learn something else when I get back to Cybertron.
Oh, yeah.
So.
There was some additions, money spent from Denizen. It was... What was it getting? Want to try to spend that amongst... or trade in for UPBs, if we could, for crafting some stuff to be put in me. I would like venom spurs to be crafted into my fangs.
Huh.
And some Cybertronian venom to be implanted therein.
Interesting. You want to be a poison bear?
Aye.
If bears weren't already terrifying enough.
An electric poison bear former.
You realize, of course, that you're going to have a qualified medical expert to help you with this, and the person to do it is going to be Magnum.
Oh, it's going to be Pythagoras.
Doesn't the ship have a medical officer other than Magnum? Is there no one else capable? Hey, what about that blue shifty fella? Isn't he a bit of an engineer?
He's not a medic.
It's a fine line with Transformers.
Yeah.
He can repair the ship. He can't repair you. I suppose you could have Pythagoras.
What about B-list Bull? Beta Taurus. Is she a medical person?
Nope. She's a first mate.
What about the captain? He's got to have some experience in medical procedures.
His subclass is pirate.
So that's a soft yes?
No, it means you're going to wake up without a booty.
An electric bootyless bear venomous bear former thing.
Well, say goodbye to the chunky bumpers.
When a bear bites me, my first thought is not, I hope this isn't venomous.
I know.
It's more like, where's my arm?
And that's where the surprise will come.
Indeed.
I survived the bear attack, but for how long? For how long?
All right, yeah, so during the trip, Carapace, you are doing some skill training. Denizen, you are getting venom spurs installed into your fangs. Magnum, after the procedure to rebuild Nyko, what are you up to?
Well, there's a couple things he wants to get done. I'm not sure if we have time to do everything. First thing he's going to do is analyze those memory cores again. And do some more checks for those.
For the star chart you're talking about?
Yeah, the star charts.
Yep. Good callback. That's going to be a engineering or computers check as you try to puzzle out those star charts and try to track Star Runner's path through the galaxy.
Okay.
So go for it.
So that is a 28 for my engineering check.
28. You did get this one, but it was barely.
Rar.
All right, let's try the next one. 36.
36? That'll do it. You're up to 6 out of the 10 successes that you need to completely understand this star chart.
How long does it take for each of these, you think?
I would say it probably takes the course of a day or so. But you can continue doing it until you fail, and then you'll have to do it starting the next time.
I think that's going to be now.
You have 6 out of the 10 successes, and what do you get for number 7?
24. Which is probably going to be a failure.
24. Nope, that is not enough. The DC for this does go up as the longer you follow it. So But you did get 2 on this one, so that is very good. You are up to 6 out of 10, so you only need 4 more to go to get to fully realize what to flush out that star chart you're trying to build.
Fine, don't answer me. I don't need to look at the pretty lights myself. And I walk away. Been standing in that doorway for 8 hours.
Actually, she, amongst anybody on the ship, she might actually be very good at interpreting star charts because she's probably hung around in Stonehenge for, 300 years. Like, it might be the only thing that she's actually good at.
There's a backhanded compliment.
Still not helping him.
Pat, you're truly an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a box full of parts and make a box with lots of buttons of different color lights and switches and dials and things like that. And the lights change when you change the dials. And I'm going to just leave it outside Denizen's room.
I want you to make an engineering check to see how convincing this is.
I mean, it doesn't actually have to do anything other than look pretty.
If I have to make an engineering check to see if it's a real thing, you're going to succeed, Matt. It doesn't matter what you roll.
37. And I make it out of extremely durable material. So I'll get some hull plating.
Denizen.
Yes.
Every time you look at this box, I'm going to need you to make a will save to avoid having to press the button.
Can't I just automatically fail it?
Oh, if you want to, sure.
Right.
And then the rest of the time, if Carapace has any time available, I could use his input. If Wild Strike too, if he's available. And he has a lot to do right now. But I'm designing 2 new weapons, and I'm using the ship's resources just sort of to start building. And I'm going to take those 2 lighters and turn them into
a flamethrower.
Or fire guns or something like that. A tribute to my friends.
Neat.
One that Sweet Spot gave him, and one that Carapace gave him. I think because he could use 2 new guns.
Oh, because we each gave you a lighter?
Yeah. So I'm going to pick them part of his
we both have the same idea.
Part of his 2 new pistols. So he's going to have fire guns of some sort. I just need to design them. But
yeah, let's do that. You can use small arms?
Cool.
Small arms, yeah. So we're not going to do that now, but that's what I'll work on.
Well, I know. It's something I can open up and take a look at.
I'll get the smart shooty guys' input.
He likes to drool over the pretty numbers.
So they're probably going to be level 9 weapons, probably.
Yeah, you got 3 weeks to work on it, so yeah, absolutely. Plenty of time. Bunch of neat little projects for Magnum and Pythagoras. That's nice.
All Pythagoras now. I don't know what I don't know what Magnum is doing. Well, Magnum is helping because he's sitting around on his head wherever he goes. If Pythagoras is working.
That's fair. And Wild Strike, what are you up to for these 3 weeks after you have gotten Nico straightened out?
There's some kind of room on the ship that we can, practice in, firing and, getting used to each other's controls or whatnot.
You have that training room that you got, like when you first got to the Steelhaven, you kind of hid some bodies in.
Okay.
So you have that training room you can turn into a target range.
Yep, that'd be perfect. So
I don't believe that was clear for weapons fire. Okay.
Hang up the bodies. Can we say we took that big piece of metal on the far end of the weapons testing chamber with us, since that seems to be able to endure anything? We need some
if you'd like,
plutonium, basically, is what it is.
Did you do it before or after Landslide transformed?
I think it would have to be before.
Actually, it doesn't matter with plutonium.
It's just wherever you need it to be. So it is.
Yeah, you can. Yep, you can. We can say you went ahead and you took that. That's I'm okay with that.
Plutonium, patent pending.
All right, so I'll be spending some time doing that, and then at some point, I'd like to meet up with Pythagoras. So, hey, Pythagoras, I have a question. Well, more request.
All right.
I need to contact and meet with Starscream when we get back. I would like you, if you can, to create some sort of recording device. Ideally, it would transmit back to you in real time, but be undetectable. I know it's quite an ask.
No, it's a good project. I'll get working on it right away.
You can use some of that plutonium.
So much
It's
plutonium.
shielding.
If you could create something like that, I want to try to get as much information from Starscream as possible about this issue with Sweet Spot.
Yeah, all right, you got it. Well,
thank you.
Put my resources into that as well. So if you ask me that,
Thank you for.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said if he asked me that, as soon as he asked me that, I'll switch over to my work to that.
And I'll say again, thank you again for your help with Nico.
No
Things have
problem.
been working out great since he's come back online.
I'm glad to hear it. No problem. Anytime. Right, so I guess I'll be working on that. I think if we take out your eyeball, I could put something in there and use infrared to communicate instead of some sort of radio transmission. It'd be very hard to detect. I'll work on that.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Ooh.
All right. Well, thank you.
No problem.
All right, Denizen, it's been a couple of days, and you open the door, getting out of your room, and there is a shiny new box on the floor in front of your door, and it's got so many little buttons and levers and toggles and just a couple of blinking lights on there too.
What the devil? I'll shut the door. A couple of seconds later, I'll crack it open. Is it still there?
Yes.
All right, so I'm not seeing things. I'll kick it a little with my foot.
It moves a little bit.
Did I hit any of the buttons with the toe?
No, all the buttons are on the top. You kicked on the side.
I will pick it up, look left and right, up and down the hall. Someone's left me a little something. Could be a bomb. I know I'm not the most popular person on the ship, and I'll bring it into my room and shut the door. I mean, if it is a bomb, I don't want to kill anyone else. But I should have it checked out, but I really want to push the buttons.
Those buttons look really enticing.
I'll sit down on my recharge slab. Oh, just one button, and I'll push it.
Beep. A couple of the lights change, and there's a nice little beep sound.
I'll push the button next to that one.
That changes all of the lights on the outer ring to blue. And then one little red light starts to circle around.
Uh-oh. I push that same button again.
Yep, they turn to green, and four of the top lights light up, and one of the dials goes from left to right.
Does the red light that's spinning around, does that stop?
It stopped.
Oh, good. Whew. All right, I should probably leave this alone. I'll put it on my nightstand, very close to the recharge slab, and I'll leave the room to go take care of that thing I was going to do. And a couple of seconds later, I'll come back into the room and rush right over to the box and push it some more.
Plays a little
And
tune.
I think this is probably where I'm going to be for the next 8 hours.
At one point, it plays "Oh Danny Boy."
So I was gonna say, like, you made like a combination of like Simon and Bop It, you know?
So, stop it.
Stop it! Stop
Stop it now.
The cat.
And with that, the trip back to Cybertron continues, and you all work on your little projects and train up some skills and just take advantage of the downtime before you know that once you get back to Cybertron, that some things are going to have to happen, and you're going to have to make some choices as to what your next move is going to be. And we'll see all of you next time.
Awesome.
We totally saw that coming.
From the secret files of Teletran 1, Empire of Rust is written and GM'd by Michael Ordway. Headmaster Magnum and his partner Pythagoras are played by Matthew G. Denizen, the mysterious druid, is played by Adam H.U. The Decepticon warrior Wildstrike and his partner Nyko are played by Mike M. And Carapace, the bee soldier of primitive Eucharis, is played by Patrick Finn. Additional characters are played by Michael and Cassandra Ordway. Empire of Rust is supported by the humans and networks of planet Earth, whose online networks provide access to libraries of sound effects and music, such as Storyblocks, Sasplat, Blue Zone, and Dark Fantasy Studios. We are distributed by the Transmissions Podcast Network. Stay up to date with all the latest news and reviews in the world of the Transformers by going to transmissionspodcast.com or searching for the Transmissions in your podcast app of choice. You can communicate with the heroes of Iacon by joining us on the Transmissions Discord channel. There you can discuss episodes, talk to the cast, and download the rule set used in the Empire of Rust. Teletran 1, signing off.